Welcome to today's lecture on lifting and moving patients. In this session, we will explore the critical techniques and safety measures EMTs need to know to move patients effectively, without injury to themselves or their patients. This knowledge is essential for providing efficient and safe pre-hospital care. As an EMT, you'll often need to move patients during the course of your duties. Proper lifting and moving techniques are essential to prevent injuries to yourself, your team, and the patient. By mastering body mechanics and the proper use of equipment, you'll be able to handle these tasks safely and efficiently. The wheeled ambulance stretcher, also known as a gurney, is the most commonly used device for moving patients. It is designed specifically for rolling along the ground, making it an essential tool in most patient transports. Stretcher weights can vary from 40 to 145 pounds, and they're generally not used to carry patients up or down stairs or over long distances. Understanding the limitations and uses of this equipment is vital. When the situation allows, rolling the patient using a stretcher or other wheeled device is preferred. This reduces the physical strain of carrying and helps prevent injuries. Familiarize yourself with the features of the stretcher your ambulance uses before going on calls. Let's review some key features of the wheeled stretcher. It includes a head and foot end, a strong metal frame, hinges to elevate the head or back, and guardrails to secure the patient. These features ensure the patient's safety during transport. Additional features include an adjustable undercarriage frame and a fluid-resistant mattress. Patients are secured with straps, providing stability and minimizing movement that could lead to further injury. Backboards are flat, rigid devices commonly made of plastic. They're primarily used to immobilize patients with suspected spinal injuries or trauma and are essential for moving patients in a supine or immobilized position. Backboards are typically 6 to 7 feet long, with holes that serve as handles or securing points for straps. They're ideal for moving patients found lying down or in awkward locations. Moving patients requires careful attention to avoid injuries. Proper training and repeated practice of lifting and moving techniques are critical to protecting yourself, your team, and the patient. Using correct body mechanics and staying physically fit greatly reduces the chance of injury. Moves should be performed in a planned, deliberate, and unhurried manner, ensuring safety at all times. Understanding body mechanics is essential to safe patient handling. When standing upright, your shoulder girdle, spinal column, pelvis, and legs share the load of anything you lift. A proper lifting position aligns the shoulder girdle over the pelvis, keeps hands close to the legs, and directs force straight down the spinal column. This reduces strain on your back. This image demonstrates the correct lifting posture. When properly aligned, the force exerted on the spine is evenly distributed along the vertebrae, reducing the risk of injury. Improper lifting, such as leaning forward or bending significantly at the hips, can result in back injuries. Always maintain an upright posture during lifts. To lift safely, spread your legs about 15 inches apart, position your feet for balance, and lower your upper body by bending your knees while keeping your back upright. Grasp the patient or stretcher securely. After securing your grip, raise your upper body and arms, straightening your legs until you're fully standing. Keep the weight close to your body and your arms evenly spaced. A power grip provides maximum force. To perform it, keep your palms up, hands approximately 10 inches apart, and ensure all fingers are at the same angle to support the handle. When lifting a patient directly, ensure you have a secure grip in a way that minimizes the risk of losing control. Safety and stability are paramount. When reaching or pulling, maintain proper body mechanics. Lock your back by engaging your core, kneel when necessary, and avoid extending your arms beyond 15 to 20 inches in front of you. When dragging a patient, alternate between pulling with your arms and repositioning your body to avoid overextension or strain. Proper teamwork is essential for safety. To drag a patient across a bed, kneel on the bed to stay within the recommended distance, pull the patient closer to you, and complete the move while standing at the bed's side. When transferring a patient from a stretcher to a bed in a hospital, ensure the stretcher is at the same height or slightly higher than the bed. Work with a partner to perform the move in small increments. For patients requiring immobilization, use the log roll technique to transfer them onto a backboard. This method ensures patient safety during the process. When log rolling, stay as close to the patient as possible, keep your back straight, and use your legs to prevent the patient from rolling over completely. Coordination with your team is key. Whenever possible, use rolling devices to minimize lifting and carrying. If a wheeled device isn't available, follow proper guidelines for lifting and carrying patients safely. Before lifting, estimate the patient's weight. Most adults weigh between 120 to 220 pounds. While 2 EMTs can often lift this weight safely, using 4 providers is preferred for stability and reduced strain. For patients weighing over 250 pounds, ensure at least 4 providers are available to assist. Use bariatric equipment and techniques when necessary to manage heavier patients safely. When lifting a patient on a stretcher or backboard, remember that most of the weight rests on the head end of the device. The diamond carry method is often used, requiring 1 EMT at each corner of the patient. The diamond carry requires 4 providers. 1 EMT is stationed at the head, 1 at the foot, and 1 on each side of the patient's torso, ensuring an even and stable lift. When rolling a wheeled stretcher, ensure it's fully elevated and securely balanced. This minimizes the risk of tipping and ensures a smooth transport for the patient. Stair chairs are ideal for carrying conscious patients up or down flights of stairs. These lightweight chairs come equipped with safety straps, molded seats, and fold-out handles for easier transport. When moving a patient downstairs with a stretcher, use a backboard instead if the patient is unresponsive, needs to remain supine, or requires spinal immobilization. Plan the move with your team for safety. Place your strongest and tallest EMTs at the head and foot of the backboard when navigating stairs. Secure the backboard and patient to the stretcher after completing the descent. When loading a wheeled stretcher into an ambulance, ensure you hold the main frame securely to prevent tipping. Maintain control of the stretcher as it's elevated or lowered. Some stretchers are self-loading, simplifying the process of loading into an ambulance. Other models require manual adjustment to align with the ambulance floor. Always ensure the stretcher is properly secured once inside. Effective teamwork requires clear communication. The team leader assigns roles and provides rapid instructions to ensure each step is executed safely before lifting begins. Preparatory commands are essential for coordination. For example, a team leader may say, "All ready to stop," to gain the team's attention, followed by a louder command, "Stop," to execute the action. Careful planning is critical for any lift or move. Always choose methods that involve the least amount of lifting and carrying to minimize strain on your team and maximize patient safety. Emergency moves are used when there's immediate danger to the patient or EMTs. They allow rapid relocation of the patient to a safer location for assessment or care. Techniques like the clothes drag, blanket drag, arm drag, and arm-to-arm drag are effective for moving patients in emergency situations while minimizing spinal aggravation. This slide illustrates common emergency dragging techniques, including the clothes drag, blanket drag, and arm-to-arm drag. Each method provides a safe and effective way to move patients in hazardous situations. To remove an unconscious patient from a vehicle alone, clear the legs from the pedals, rotate their back toward the open door, and drag them out while supporting the head and neck. This slide shows a one-person technique for removing an unresponsive patient from a vehicle. Always prioritize the patient's safety and maintain spinal alignment during the process. Urgent moves are necessary for patients with altered levels of consciousness, inadequate ventilation, shock, or those exposed to extreme weather. These moves require skilled EMTs to minimize risk to the patient. The rapid extrication technique is used when time is critical, allowing a patient to be moved within 1 minute. However, it carries risks, especially for spinal injuries, so it should be used only when absolutely necessary. When the scene and patient are stable, a non-urgent move allows for careful planning. The team leader should organize the move, considering personnel, obstacles, equipment, and the chosen path. Direct ground lifts are used for patients without suspected spinal injuries who need to be moved over short distances. EMTs should coordinate to lift and carry the patient in unison. The extremity lift is useful for patients in small spaces or with no suspected spinal injuries. This lift requires one EMT at the patient's head and one at the feet, coordinating their movements verbally. Transfer moves, such as the direct carry or draw sheet method, are used to move a supine patient from a bed to a stretcher. Scoop stretchers can also be employed for stabilized patients. Geriatric patients often present unique challenges due to skeletal changes like brittle bones or spinal curvatures. A compassionate and sympathetic approach can help alleviate their fears. Conditions like kyphosis and spondylosis require additional care during patient handling. Adjustments in positioning and movement techniques may be necessary to prevent injury. Bariatrics involves managing obese patients. With obesity affecting millions of people, EMTs must be prepared to use specialized equipment and techniques to prevent injuries to themselves and the patient. Bariatric stretchers and mechanical lifts are designed to handle higher weight capacities. However, even with these tools, user safety must remain a priority. Bariatric stretchers feature a wider wheelbase for increased stability, making them ideal for transporting obese patients safely. Pneumatic and electronic-powered stretchers reduce the physical strain on EMTs and limit the risk of injury for both providers and patients. These stretchers are especially useful for heavier patients. Portable or folding stretchers feature a lightweight metal frame with fabric stretched across it. These are often used in areas where space is limited or access is challenging. Flexible stretchers are ideal for confined spaces. They conform to the patient's body and are lightweight and easy to store, making them a versatile tool in your equipment lineup. Short backboards, such as the Kendrick extrication device or KED, are used to immobilize seated patients during extrication. These are especially helpful in motor vehicle collisions. Vacuum mattresses are a great alternative to traditional backboards, particularly for pediatric and geriatric patients. By removing air, the mattress molds around the patient for comfort, insulation, and immobilization. Basket stretchers, also known as Stokes baskets, are rigid and designed for patient removal in remote locations. They are often used in technical rescues, including water rescues and rope extractions. If a patient has a spinal injury, secure them to a backboard before placing them in the basket stretcher. This ensures both safety and stability during transport. Scoop stretchers are designed to split into 2 or 4 sections. They can be assembled around a patient lying on a flat surface, making them ideal for patients who need to remain immobilized. A neonatal isolette is used to transport neonates. It provides a warm, secure environment and protects the infant from noise, drafts, infection, and excessive handling. It can be freestanding or secured to a wheeled stretcher. Decontaminating your equipment after use is essential for the safety of your patients, crew, and yourself. Proper cleaning prevents the spread of disease and ensures the longevity of your tools. Proper patient positioning is determined by the patient's chief complaint. For instance, a patient with chest pain or respiratory distress should be placed in a fowler or semi-fowler position for comfort. Patients in late pregnancy should be transported on their left side, while unresponsive patients without spinal injuries should be placed in the recovery position. Always consider the patient's condition when choosing a position. Medical restraints are used for combative patients to ensure their safety and the safety of others. Follow local protocols and evaluate for underlying causes such as hypoxia or hypoglycemia before applying restraints. Once restraints are applied, assess the patient's airway, breathing, circulation, and mental status regularly. Document all actions and observations thoroughly. Before lifting or moving a patient, ask yourself these questions. Am I physically strong enough? Is there adequate space for a proper stance? Do I need additional help? Remember, an injured EMT can't assist anyone.